In the third Aliyah, they, Abraham and his son Yitzchak, arrive at the place which God had designated. And Abraham built the altar, bound Isaac, and placed him on the wood on top of the altar. As Abraham stretched out his hand to take the slaughtering knife, an angel appeared and ordered him to refrain. And then God says, "Now I know that you are God-fearing, since you have not withheld your only son from me." And Abraham offered a ram, which was caught in a nearby thicket, instead of his son. And then he named the place, "The Lord Will See." So let's go ahead and read that passage together. This is the third Aliyah. It says in Genesis chapter 22, verse 9, "And they came to the place of which God had spoken to him. And Abraham built the altar there and arranged the wood. And he bound Isaac his son and placed him on the altar upon the wood. And Abraham stretched forth his hand and took the knife to slaughter his son. And an angel of God called to him from heaven and said, 'Abraham, Abraham.' And he said, 'Here I am.' And he said, 'Do not stretch forth your hand to the lad, nor do the slightest thing to him. For now I know that you are a God-fearing man, and you did not withhold your son, your only one, from me.' And Abraham lifted up his eyes, and he saw, and lo, there was a ram, and after that it was caught in a tree by its horns. And Abraham went and took the ram and offered it up as a burnt offering instead of his son. And Abraham named that place, 'The Lord Will See,' as it is said to this day, 'On the mountain the Lord will be seen.'" Now regarding verse 12, Rashi makes a very interesting comment. He says, "Said Rabbi Abba, Abraham said to him, 'I will explain my complaint before you. Yesterday you said to me,'" above in verse 21:12, "'For in Isaac will be called your seed.' And you retracted and said," in verse 2, "'Take now your son.' Now you say to me, 'Do not stretch forth your hand to the lad.' The Holy One, blessed be He, said to Abraham," and this is based on Psalm 89:35 now, "I shall not profane my covenant, neither shall I alter the utterance of my lips. When I said to you, 'Take,' I was not altering the utterance of my lips. I did not say to you, 'Slaughter him,' but 'Bring him up.' You have brought him up. Now take him down." Now this is from Genesis Rabbah and Genesis Rabbah 56:8. So basically, Abraham is complaining, according to Rashi, here, and saying, first you said, I'm going to bless you through Isaac and all the nations of the earth. And then later on you tell me, "Oh, take your son, to be sacrificed." And now you're telling me, "Don't stretch forth your hand." So he's basically saying that Abraham is accusing God of being wishy-washy, of changing his mind and telling him different things that are conflicting. But Rashi says that God's answer, and this is actually from the Midrash Rabbah, that God's answer is, "No, I never told you to sacrifice your son. I only told you to take him up. And now that you've taken him up, bring him down." And I think that this story is very plausible. If we see here, Abraham and Hashem, according to that conversation, they refer back to this passage right here, where it says, "Please take your son, your only one, whom you love, Isaac, and go away to land of Moriah and bring him up there for a burnt offering." Now, in the Hebrew, I'm going to show you the Hebrew for this. Okay, bring him up there for a burnt offering. Here in the Hebrew, let me see, I've got to find it first. There. It says, "Veha'alehu sham le'olah." Okay, so this one right here, it says "Veha'alehu." This is the part that says, "And bring him up." Okay, and bring him up, or cause him to ascend. Sham, there. And then this right here, le'olah, is translated as a burnt offering, and that's usually how that word is translated. But however, the root of this word, le'olah, is the same as the root of this word, veha'alehu, and the root means to ascend. Okay, this one is to cause him to ascend. This is to ascend, or to be in ascension. So this word, translated as burnt offering, actually it doesn't have the word burnt in it anywhere. Maybe more literally, we can call it the ascension offering, an offering that goes up to the Lord. Now, usually, this offering in the temple was burned up. Okay, it was burned completely up, and its smoke ascended to Hashem, and it was not eaten. But the root of this has nothing to do with burning, and so I think that's why Rashi and the Midrash Rabbah talk about this, and it's basically saying, that Abraham might have mistaken it to mean to offer up your son as a sacrifice, but the root of that word, it just calls him to be an ascension offering, something that you lift up to the Lord and not necessarily kill or sacrifice. So the Midrash Rabbah and Rashi are saying that Abraham misunderstood God, but in a way he did, there was conflict within him. So maybe perhaps he knew that there was some kind of confusion, and this is why he also said, God will see for himself that there's a burnt offering. So he knew somehow that, his son would not be dead, that he would not lose his son through this act. Now we'll go to verse 13. Rashi says something interesting here as well. It says, Rashi says regarding verse 13, so regarding just this short passage right here, it says, lo, there was a ram. And then in Hebrew, it says it right here, vehine ayil. So behold, or lo, vehine, and behold, ayil, that means ram. So, and behold, there was a lamb. So Rashi says that regarding this ram, that it was prepared for this specific event since the 6 days of creation. And that's something that we celebrate, right? Rosh Hashanah, this is, according to Jewish legend, the 6th day of creation, when all creation was complete. So even at this time, in the beginning of the world, God foreordained this ram, to take Isaac's place. And there's also another midrash that says regarding this ram. It says, the shofar blown at Mount Sinai when the Torah was given came from the ram which had been sacrificed in place of Isaac. The left horn was blown for a shofar at Mount Sinai, and its right horn will be blown to herald the coming of Messiah. The right horn was larger than the left, and thus concerning the days of Messiah, as it is written in Isaiah 27:13, on that day a great shofar will be blown. So again, this is another reason why now I'd like to look at the very last verse of this Aliyah. It says, Vaikra, and he called Avraham, Abraham. So Abraham called Shem Hamakom, the name of the place. Shem is name, Hamakom is the place. Hahu means that. Adonai, this is the name of Hashem, Yud-Heh-Vav-Heh. Yir'eh, will see. So he called that place Hashem will see. Asher, that. Ye'amer is as it is said. Hayom, which is today or this day. Okay. Behar, in the mountain or on the mountain. Har is mountain. And this is the sacred name again, Adonai or Hashem. Behar Adonai, on the mountain of the Lord. Yera'eh, he shall see, or the Lord will be seen. Yera'eh. So the sages say that, or Rashi, this means, according to the Targum, is that the Lord will choose and see for himself that specific place. That place. Hahu. Hamakom hahu, that place.